Mhm. Come on in, come on in. Guess I'll be chiefing while I'm waiting on y'all to come on in. I don't know if I'm gonna let anybody in because it look like this is taking a little longer. So the sister sent me the invite. It say that it's adding, but it's not letting in the room. Say connection failed. Anybody else want to come up? Open Q&A. That's what you want to know. Send me a request. Lady, I'm trying to let you in, sweetie, but it ain't. The last one said that. I don't think it's gonna let nobody come up. Rich Blair, I'm trying to let you in. Okay, okay. Look like we might have a fire here. Can you hear me? I say he's joining, but I don't see him. Oh, didn't he drop? Request. Nicole Randall, author of which book? Maybe the guy. It sounds like you already know about the Haitian Empire and Dessalines. Nicole Randall, which author, which book? Oh, Atlas Shrugged. Mhm. Atlas Shrugged is my favorite. Well, unless you're talking about the Khalil Gibran, when I was talking about Khalil Gibran, I said my favorite was the story called Satan. I was in it was in the anthology book. Got a lot of his stuff in it. Something like the uh, collected writings of Khalil Gibran or something like that. One second. On that. So it'd be the collected works of Khalil Gibran. Have a lot of stories in it. It's not very clear on here. Camera might be over. A lot of people like the Prophet by Khalil Gibran. It's good, but it's not my favorite story by him. You know, the collected works. The one I got is have a yellow dust cover on it. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah, I love reading his stuff. Also, Arthur Og Mandino. My favorite from him was The Return of the Rag Picker. Then who else I like? Most of the stuff I would read would be information science book. Oh, The Brain, The Final Frontier by Richard Restak, I think, MD. Natty, I'm trying to let you in again, sweetie. See what it do. But if it don't let nobody in, I'm not gonna say this video. Uh oh. Uh oh. Look like
Elder.
Houston. We look like we about.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Pete. I can hear you. Can you hear
I
me?
can. I can hear you. I can't see you.
Yeah, I can see myself, but I can hear you, but they got your screen blanked out.
hmm I'm finna look at it on my other phone.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
I
was
can see
checking
you
back
on.
in with you, man. It's been like 2 years since we got a chance to chop it up again. Last time we talked, and I was doing what you was telling me about the finish line in Florida, and I had went down there. You were telling me to check in with my sister, my older sister, and
Mm.
I did that because me and my wife was in Melbourne at the time, and I never did get we was in Melbourne. I heard her link up with her, but we never did link up, and I don't know what the reason was. I know she had a lot going on. I kind of, you know, summed it up as that. But I was just checking back in. Let you know we having our reunion next month on my mama's side, and my aunt, my grandma's sister, she gonna be the grand marshal in the parade. So I was just trying to get some insight on the grand marshal, like what's the purpose of that?
It depends on what kind of marshal she is. You have them in some of the lodges have marshals. It's a lodge ranking system, but it's also a military ranking system in one regard, and law enforcement in another. So it depends on what kind of marshal she
Gotcha.
is to determine what her function is. You understand?
I got you. Yes, sir. Yeah. Because the thing for this year is boots on the ground, and I know it's a meme behind it. And the other night I was listening to the song on the radio, and it just really hit me. You know what I'm saying? So ever since then, I've been home blasting it on a Bluetooth speaker in here in the living room, and me and my wife we just been vibing out, and it was like a serene type feeling though. You know what I mean? And I knew it was something spiritual, but I just didn't know why. You know what I'm saying? In that moment.
So you have a spiritual experience is what you look for. If it feel real good, something real good gonna happen. If it feel drab and dreary,
Hmm.
then that's the one to tell you you got to straighten something up before something go off
Yeah.
course. But sometimes you can't do nothing about it. You just have to ride the wave. And spirit let you know either way,
Yeah.
even if you can't do nothing about it, the spirit let you know it's coming.
Right. 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 Yeah, I've been excited all year about the reunion because last year I didn't even get a chance to make it. And on my dad, we having our reunion on in July for that. But I was touching on we were talking a while back. I was telling you about my granddaddy, right? My
Hmm.
dad, he fought in World War II, and he was over there in Japan, and he was telling me it could it was something along the lines with the ISIS tribe, with the tribe of ISIS. I was just trying to get more clarity on like because you also telling me on my dad, like my dad and mama, her last name a Major, and you was telling me that's a military rank. And
Hmm.
I just been doing my due diligence on that too. And I also remember
It's
you was
also
telling me
a
on my
rank in the
mother-in-law's
marching
side.
band too.
Mm-hmm.
Major
What that
is
now?
also it's also a rank in the marching band, right?
Yeah,
You
they
had a band
also got.
major, the lead, you
Uh,
had a drum major, so you also have majors as a rank in marching bands.
yes, sir. And then like right now, man, I got my first cousin locked up. Man, he been locked up. Almost last time I seen him I was 17. It's my uncle's son, my dad's brother, and they got him down there in Orlando right now, man. But his mom was originally from California though, so I felt like she could have been a part of that trial over there in Cali, but cause they gave him over 740 years, he's fighting it right now, and they'll prove me to go see him and everything, and I just know he a political prisoner though. They were trying to say he was a leader of six gangs type deal, and we've been battling with that with our family man trying to get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he got diabetes, so his health ain't in the best shape right now. So that's one of the reasons for that. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you starting to come more into your own about how your family interaction gonna be. So it's giving you more self control in the end because when you able to take charge of a part, your part of the work, and be good at it and be effective at it, and influence everybody else to want to do their part the same effectiveness.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so you become the example.
Yeah. That's what I've been trying to do, man. Just to show people where I'm at. Like, it took a while though, because I was doing my shadow work. I started my shadow work like 2022, 2023, and I'm still on the learning curve. You know what I mean? I acknowledge that because there's so much to learn. There's so much I had to unlearn to relearn to be able to put two and two together. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that I've been noticing ever since I was 5 years old. But back in them times, man, you was made to shut up and be quiet. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like if you knew too much. So like it put me in a position where it made me feel like I had to dim my light just to, you know what I'm saying, not strike a nerve in people or to get punished for something that just because I know or aware of at that time. And it was hard coming from a small town where I come from. I come from Boston, Georgia, so a lot of people don't know about like these small town areas and a lot of stuff that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I've been reading up on everything you shared with me. You know, been on your videos, just trying to educate myself out of ignorance, basically. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where I'm at with it. But you know, me, I'm the type of person that I always like to stay short. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people always say I'm militant and stuff. Like my wife, she hit me with that a lot, and she opened my eyes up to a lot though. And like I say, I still like you told me a while back when the speaker speak, you gotta listen. And at times, you know, I struggle with that, but not like I still know that I have to, you know what I'm saying, take heed to what she tell me. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where I'm at
That
with
all
that
it
too.
is real simple. Don't let your male bravado disregard her feminine psychic ability.
Yes,
You gotta
sir.
always take that into account when you dealing with your counterpart. Because y'all supposed to be there to help each other and balance each other out. Y'all ain't supposed to be there to fight each other. If that's the case, you might as well go and hit the block.
I can't do that, man. I don't chips all in with me. And you know what I mean? Like me and her, we came back around the full circle because we met back in 2010, 2011. So, you know, we got married in 2019. And actually, her birthday on the 24th. We going to her mom's birthday 2 days after that. And then my daughter graduates tomorrow, high school. My oldest daughter. So like, you know, feel I feel
So
good, man. I'm off for the next 4 days, so I'm gonna
check this
enjoy
out.
it.
Somebody in the question, Brother Richard Blair, say, where do you find the history on Veterans Day? He said he had the same premonition, but he wanted. I'm gonna show you how they tell us.
Okay.
This is a uh, article, and you get to. I don't know if you can see it. But
I can't see you right
no,
now, but I know I'll probably be able to look at it
I'm looking on
afterwards.
my camera and I'm seeing it as blurry. So let me read. They said the following is list of observances typically covered by the Census Bureau facts for feature series. But when you get to Veterans Day, it started out American Indian / Alaskan Native Heritage Month, November. Then it's a Veteran Days. Now this is supposed to be about um, the question that I asked was what November 11th was what Native American Day, and this is the Native American holiday search, and it's giving it as Memorial Day, and then when you look at what was Memorial Day for, um, to remember the um, fallen in combat, so it became a national holiday, Veterans Day, not Memorial Day, Veterans Day. Veterans Day is for all of the warriors that went off to fight in wars. This was long before there was a United States. That's what the tribes did. And that's why, like, when I look over here on the just on the search, I type November 11th, Native American Day, and then you scroll down and say November 11th. This was under National Native American Heritage Month. November 11th, Veterans Day. American Indians and Alaska Natives answer the call of duty and defend our nation's precious liberties at one of the highest. You know, when I go in there, I can't find where I was at on that. But it said, "Welcome to Native American Heritage Month at the Department of the Interior. National Native American Heritage Month is celebrated each year in November. It is a time to celebrate the traditions, languages, and stories of Native American and Alaskan Native communities and ensure the rich histories and contributions continue to thrive with each passing generation. This November and every month, we celebrate the culture and heritage of these remarkable the quality and character of our nation. We celebrate Indian country with its remarkable diversity of American, Indian, and Alaska Native cultures and peoples while remembering and honoring our veterans who have sacrificed so much to defend our nation." Right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so here's a no, that's membership information. So our theme is weaving together our past, present, and future. We will focus on the failed policies of the past with a focus on the federal Indian boarding schools moving to the present and work being done to address the integration trauma Native people still face, intergenerational trauma, in partnership with the National Endowment for the Humanities and the Smithsonian Institution we work. So that's just um, like recruitment information. But as you scroll down, there's different recognitions of November 11th, Veterans Day, as a day to remember soldiers who fought in wars. That's always been in the culture, right? They didn't
Yeah.
have nothing to remember fallen comrades in Europe, in Africa. Africa only recognized key individuals. They didn't have mass recognition ceremonies like we had. That was a primary difference in our culture because the sum total body of the tribes in Africa is culminated in that one persona of that historical figure. So it's like the whole tribe is that one person. Where over here, we recognize the tribal elders and the youth coming from the elders have to go through a growth process, and some of them sometimes had to go squabble up. And when they went squabbled up, they came home to different kind of celebrations. We there's not a whole lot of history of post combat celebrations like we had until they encountered our culture. Everything we did was a celebration when it was over with. If we had a flood and we cleaned up after the flood got cleaned up and when everybody was back into living, we had a party. If we had a landslide and the mud rolled into town and ran us all out the village, we got done. If we decided to clean it up, so most of the time we didn't, but if we decided to clean it up close to the end, somebody's starting a bonfire, somebody finna have a cookout. Call in the Pitmans because we finna do some grilling tonight,
Yeah, I
right?
got
So
a cousin last name Pittman.
that was what they was called Pitman for. The Pitman used to be
Yeah,
barbecue specialists, and it was
yeah,
like a group of families that had the top ranked pitmaster. They would call them the Pitmen. The Pitmans. They was always cooking for the big mamas in the South. They had cook-offs. That's where all of that. They got a bison uh, recipe cook-off contest in the Southwest. They have every couple of years or so, but that used to be the cook-off. That's where it came from. It was just in the culture. They telling us we don't got no culture, but they taking our culture and then they monetizing it and they living off our culture on our land while we don't got no culture and no land. But we ain't
yeah.
supposed to know that.
It's funny you say that though, because back in like 2015, we had a cook off. But my dad, he was he was the man when it came to the grill. And I took upon it too, but see, I don't eat meat no more. You know what I mean? I started eating meat in 2016. So this month right here made 9 years for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I did it like for spiritual purposes, and like I got shot and stuff. I got this rod in my leg, so I ain't want too much weight on me. So that was the purpose of me doing that. You know what I mean? Because when you ain't got no money and no insurance, then people don't want to see you. So I had to, do a lot of self care. That's where that came from.
You know, you tend to be healthier longer when you focus on your health care. And then the health care of your child, when you teach them how to take care of themselves, most of them won't never need a doctor. But you got to let them know that that's what you're doing. You ain't just, because a lot of the parenting style comes from being occupied and under dictatorial rule. So it became part of a household way of living where the grown folks dictate to the children with no response expected. Where in our
Mhm.
culture, in our original culture, we expect the child to speak up if he feel like he being done wrong and explain why. But under the foreign culture, we tell them to shut the fuck up and sit down.
Yep. And see that's what we dealt with a lot in these small towns. Like, we was made like we weren't supposed to have no opinion. Because I was a
Mm-hmm.
kid coming out of a small country town, and I moved. My mom got remarried, so we moved to Atlanta back in 1997. You know what I mean? And that was a huge transition for me because I used to have to ride the bus and the train to the school. That's how I learned my way around the city. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I observed a lot of different stuff, and like it took a while for me to get adjusted. You know what I mean? But I ended up coming back home when I was 14, and that's when I left my mom house when I was 14, and you know ain't been back ever since. And I still it was for my own reasons. I just felt like long as she was married to my stepdad at the time, long as she happy, I'm cool. I can go back home and get to know my dad a whole lot better, which I did. You know what I'm saying? And me and my pops, we had a beautiful relationship, man. I miss him. You know what I'm saying? He passed away in 2018, but a lot of stuff that he told me, through conversation over time, it stuck. So I do my level best to apply that. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, at times and moments, I still do struggle, and that's the whole purpose of life, though. That's why I'm on this learning curve, because I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to take it to the next level because that's what we have to do as a collective. You know what I mean? Just I hear a lot of us don't be on the same page sometimes. To see what the bigger goal is. You know what I mean? And I feel like
Yeah.
we getting there. You know what I
Everybody,
mean? But
we can't all
there's a
be on the
process.
same page. We can't all be on the same page. The best we can
Heard
hope
on
for
that.
is to be in the same book because everybody accelerated at different speed. This is what this is.
Mm,
You can't take process out of the process.
true.
We'll eventually get to the end of the book as long as we in the same book. We ain't got to be in the
That
same
makes sense.
chapter. Because the influence of the ones who went through the book already gonna make the other ones get through the book easier and faster.
Yeah, so true. But hey, Elder, I just want to check in with you, just to catch up with you since the last time we chopped it up. I just want to
Sure,
show
for
my
sure.
gratitude. I just want to get an opportunity for everybody else to check in with you as well. But ain't nothing but love, and hopefully we can get back to it, man, when you free it up again.
For sure, man. We talk again.
Ten
It's
for
just the
ball.
beginning.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All
Yes,
right, man.
sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna see if I can let somebody else up.
All right, 10 for. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay. Who else is in here? Anybody else want to come up? Got a question? Michelle. I know you see me. I know you see me put you on camera, Michelle. Uh, okay. Let me see what the bad guy Curry. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo,
I can hear you, but I can't see you. But I'm gonna look and see if I can see you on my
I can't see you, nigga. I ain't got no light turned on me, dog.
that could be the problem there.
Yo, you hear me?
You got the lights on?
Yeah. Can you see me?
Mm-mm.
I don't see you.
I can hear you. I can't see you.
I don't see you, nigga. I ain't never did this shit before. I don't be fucking. I don't like fucking on cameras. No, man.
Oh yeah, I can see you on my other phone though. What's going
You
on?
can see me.
See?
I can't
Yeah.
see you. What's up with
So
you, B?
I
And I
can't see
like what
you
you do.
on but I can hear you. I know I can see you from looking at you on the other Facebook
I
app.
can't see you at all. I can see you before, but now I can't see you at all. I see myself, but I don't see you. You know what I'm saying? But how you
Okay,
doing, though,
well,
G?
I mean, I'm smooth, man. I'm smooth.
Man, I like what you be doing, bro. I be seeing you. I be seeing you on live and stuff like. When I first seen you, I seen you with Big Mama. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how she been doing and stuff. I've seen y'all be having y'all little festivals and stuff.
But we just warming up because I'm still in the process of doing my part of the job. But when I get done,
Yeah,
we gonna
when,
pitch a Wayne Dang Doodle all night long.
shit. I'm trying to get with y'all, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do my part. Like, I've been I've been like I really had to go sit down and talk to my father and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like I ain't speak to my dad for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But growing up, my daddy he he ain't like white people and shit, and I never really understood why. You know what I'm saying? He was like I don't. He never really liked white people. Like when I grew up, I went to white church. You know what I'm saying? I had white friends. You know what I'm saying? Like that white people showed me a lot of shit that I ain't never seen before. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I could never understand why he really hated white people until I really had to go sit there and talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Then he like, man, we Indian. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like he broke it all down to me, and then I'm like, damn, man, it all makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really been going on? So like my whole life, I was thinking I was black. You know what I'm saying? My whole life, and I ain't even know. But he knew. But it took for me to actually go sit there and talk to him to really figure out what was going on. So I went and got my shit. I did all my shit, did all my paperwork and everything, got my shit. And I'm down here trying to step on that motherfucking neck right now. Right now.
Look,
I'm trying to go to
we,
the motherfucker. I'm trying to go to the United States Court of Claims. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah,
Put
that's
some shit.
across from the White House, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to put some shit down in there. Like they didn't really got on my last nerve, man. Like I didn't been on a mission, bro. Like ever since I found this shit out, like I've been on a mission. You know what I'm saying? And when I seen y'all, I was like, damn, man. Like if y'all see y'all, like y'all far out there. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all out there. But I know how I feel because we from the Occaneechi band of Saponi Nation. You know what I'm saying? And you know everything really started in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know where you're going, you know what I'm saying. You gotta look back at your past, and everything started in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? That was the first colony where all this shit went down, and that's where they found us at. You know what I'm saying? Like Chief
But-
Powelton and all of them.
And look, where
And
did they kill Crispus Attucks at?
who?
Crispus Attucks.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who
Look,
that is.
he was the chief who blood. They put us in the spell with his blood writing that Constitution.
They put us in a spell with his blood.
Yeah, it's a blood right ritual.
Mm. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
that's why they gotta always tell the story that he was the first to die because that's how you can identify what they call first blood. By identifying first blood, it allows you to see who is the attacker and who is the defender. The attacker is the one who drew first blood.
mm.
We just defending ourselves and they keep attacking.
Yeah, but I don't know that shit. That's crazy work though. How they did everything that they did. Like that's crazy work because like you said, they gotta tell you everything. They told you they came over here on the boat. You know what I'm saying? Like they deporting all these motherfucking Mexicans and all of this shit. But y'all not supposed to be in there, be
That's
here
funny
neither.
to me.
Like yeah, that's real funny. Like y'all the biggest set of immigrants here, but y'all deporting other immigrants and telling them they can't come here. Like that's an oxymoron in itself.
No, it ain't. This is what they saying. Look, this how they break it down for us. We the burglars that got here first. You can't come rob this house while we robbing it.
Right, that's crazy, man. That's crazy work, man. I'm
You
talking about
got-
put a wall up and everything, man. Like that's
well,
that's
that's
crazy.
cold.
Yeah,
That was
but
cold. The wall was cold.
yeah, they put a
And the
wall.
code was concealed in Operation Cable Cutter under Ready Exercise 1984, which was the next wave of COINTELPRO.
Y'all been hearing you talk about that too. What is COINTELPRO?
That's the
Like,
United States government's counterintelligence program to stop the rise of any potential messiah who could incite the masses.
mm,
That's what they said it was. They wrote it, not me. Ready Exercise 1984 say that in a time of crisis, to round up the leaders of the people from out of our community and put them in the concentration camps. Turnabout fair play, right?
yeah, what's going on? I be hearing you talk about Larry Hoover a lot of stuff too. Like, what's
That's
going
my
on with
chief.
them? What's going on with them though?
They on hold till we get something called um, it's called jurisdictional supremacy.
Okay, because I
Under
I
jurisdictional,
like law. You know what I'm saying? Like I like law. Like I know that shit. I like that shit.
okay, the law of the land give you what's called land rights jurisdiction.
Okay.
Their system is admiralty, which is the law of the seas being applied to the land.
Yeah.
So to unravel the proper order is to restore the law of the land. The law of the land, first right to the earth right, goes to the tribal mothers. We grandfather clause them in using the oral tradition, right? The contract that the tribal mothers have go back to the creation of the realm. First in time is first in line. The rightful heir to exercise the grandmother's right to restore the land back and rebalance the people go to the tribal mothers. It's the grandmother clause. But you had to use the grandfather clause to activate the grandmother clause. The grandfather clause say that if there is a law that was before that was never overturned and you can apply it, it still applies. as long as you were before the new system.
Okay.
Our tribal oral tradition goes back thousands of years, right? So
Okay.
in their recognition of our rights, but we have to use it in order for it to be a right that we exercise.
That's right.
One of them was to teach and use our oral traditions, right? So we reclaiming who
Okay.
we are
But we
using the
still
oral
using
tradition,
somebody else's language.
right? So now
Okay.
we use the technology of the era to use it as a timestamp archivable format and put it in the public domain in a format that reaches more than 1,000 people.
Okay.
That's how you determine the public notice according to their rules of law.
Okay.
So once the public notice is out, whether they heard it or didn't hear it, if
It's
any one of
already
their
out.
agents heard it, notice the agent is notice the
Knows the
principal.
principal and knows the principals, knows the agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that make all public notices that we put in the public domain actionable by tribal right under the land, the law of the land. So
Okay.
we begin by verbally telling the tribes all across the land and giving them the opportunity to hear it. Because as we hear it, it brings down the old system as we remember who we are. It's like a trigger. The more of us hear it and understand, the more of us teach it, the we each one teach one, we all gonna reach something.
Right.
Okay, so once the youth get a hold of it and they understand, now the hard part for the youth is to understand how to use the pretender to the throne doctrine to ascend to the power of the throne,
Okay. I gotta
right?
write this shit down.
So,
I gotta
so
write this shit
the,
down.
the
The
pretender to the
pretender of the
throne is
throne doctrine.
actually the pretender to the throne is actually the rightful heir that's supposed to ascend to a power base within any prescribed geographical region. Some of us is only a chief in our local city. Some of
Yeah.
us expand to become the chief of a state. Some of them expand even further and becomes a regional chief over several states, all the way till you get to the high chief. The office of the high chief is in three parts according to tribal tradition. The three high chiefs on the land when I was born was Big Tookie, Larry Hoover, and Jeff Ford. Jeff Ford became Chief Malik Angel Bay.
Okay.
Larry Hoover was able to reform the nation from gangster disciples to growth and development, give us a new concept of life-giving teachings to bring us back from the dead by reminding us of how we're supposed to behave as members of the tribe. We call it our lit. Some people call it the blue book. Some of the GDs call it the Bible. But whatever the case may be, he gave us instructions to get out of the streets gang banging and get into the library and start brain banging,
Right.
right? So once he
Right.
said that, he told us on the Ghetto Boys album what we needed, who we needed to reach. He referred to them as the 35% apathetic vote. He talking about the tribes, the 9 treaty tribes. The 9 treaty tribes is classified in as outlaw tribes. They classify as enemy combatant tribes, as foreign dependent nations, but they don't recognize us as a tribe. They gave us a different word and then they made it sound bad and they called it a gang, but it still means tribe.
Oh,
Because when you look up the definition of the word, in the definition is tribe, clan. That's your family.
that's crazy, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm learning, man. I'm learning a lot. But as far as that legal shit go, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm on that. You know what
Nature
I'm
gave
saying? I'm
nature gave us leaders. The government took them from us. With no leadership, you don't know how to focus your attention and you don't know how to apply your power. But with proper guidance and proper leadership, you don't even have to fight a war. All you have to do is get other people to
yeah,
see where the problem and the solution is being applied. The more
yeah, but
tribes, yeah, the
they
more
always said
tribes see it, the better it works.
yeah, but they always said the pen is mightier than the sword.
Until you on the battlefield.
Well, that's true. But they want that smart though.
When
They
they
want
was
that
saying
smart.
that is because they was using contracts to bind us into agreements that would enslave
That's right.
us.
That's right. The pen was mightier than the sword. They couldn't beat us combatively. They knew they had to do some more slick shit, play some real mind control shit, man. Um, it's about that time, bro.
Yeah,
I just
they
I
time is
just
up.
pray,
Our time is now. You looking
you
at the
know,
C nation.
yeah, and I pray for y'all, man, and I just want you to know I'm with y'all, bro. And I'm moving. I'm moving by myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving.
Some
I
of us
ain't gonna let this shit
could
go.
move. Some of us
I'm not
can
about.
move more by ourselves than we can if we had a team.
Yeah, but I'm
It's
I'm
different.
I'm definitely with y'all, bro. And I'm moving, and I want to meet y'all. You know what I'm saying? I wanna build with y'all, bro.
Yeah. When um when they finally announce the tribal return, I'm gonna be having leadership summits all over the country, and we're gonna take a key group of elders to put us back in the understanding of how to govern ourselves. From like it's like a seminar, and it might last 6 weeks in your area, but by the time you get done, you'll be able to run a country, and it'll make you easier to even run a household. Right? Because most nobody don't tell us that we need to learn accounting and budgeting until we get out on our own. We don't hear about that shit in school.
No, they don't teach us none of that shit. Just like they don't teach you nothing about the law, but they try to apply it to your everyday life.
Yeah, and then
Ignorance
they tell you that ignorance is no excuse to
to
the
the
law.
law is no excuse. Nigga, how's it not? Nigga, if I ain't never rode a bike before, of course I'm gonna fall. Hell, what you talking about, man? It's all crazy as hell, man. People crazy, man.
So
It's
just like
psychotic.
GM, look, just like GM make cars, right? The
Mm-hmm.
these barristers, senators, and congressmen, just the assembly line to make more laws to give us more restrictions on freedoms, and some of that shit we wasn't even using in the first place.
Yeah, but
We
see,
wasn't even interested until you made it illegal.
yeah, and see, they stupid. They stupid though because they made so many. Ain't no way they can remember all the shit that they made. You know what I'm saying? They can't keep up with it. They really made a whole lot of loopholes and back doors against their damn self because they supposed to hold professional competence in the law at all times. So at any given time where I fuck you up,
No, no,
understand
no, no. That's not what their job is.
what you
The
mean?
barristers receive letters patent to represent the royal crown of England in barrister matters. Barrister matters was dictated to them by King George to use the judicial system as a way to silently steal assets from individuals. He told them to take everything. It's in the original charter. So they tell us to follow the Constitution and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But when you start reading the organizations that they part of, you realize that they have nothing to do with our government at all.
So the whole shit for him.
We've been going to admiralty tribunals for violating the law of the high seas, and that's why they keep bringing us to the bow of the ship to see the captain called the judge. Because the captain is the highest authority on the ship. Every courtroom is a ship, especially once you enter the bar. You went into the captain's chambers, stepped into the arena. You
Yeah.
have nothing to do with anything that's there. Subject matter is solely the responsibility of the Admiralty and Maritime and Law. You're not a bar member,
Nope, but I know how to swim.
but everybody else in the courtroom is. That's of it. The clerk is a bar member. The judge is a
Yep.
bar member. Prosecutor
Yep.
is a bar member, and your lawyer is a bar member.
Yep.
And
That's
all of
correct.
them loyalty to the bar overrides anything that you have called rights.
Yeah.
Because their
That's true.
first duty is to the
To the
integrity of
bar.
the bar.
Yep. That's true. But
And
it's still certain procedures.
it's also in there that tell them that the attorneys are supposed to always defend other attorneys, even if it's against a former client. So they're supposed to cover for each other, right or wrong.
They do. But what happens when you catch them though?
There's no remedy for you to catch them because you're not a bar member. Only a bar member can punish a bar member. He got to do something to render him a civilian in order for us to punish him using the law of the land, or what they call public law.
You gotta make them a civilian.
They got to do something that renders them a civilian. They have to get off the ship.
But yo, you can sue them in their individual capacity though for official misconduct. That's under
But if they
1980.
did it in the course of pursuing other duties, the case is moot. I read a couple of them in the law books. You can't. You only just now in the last 2 years can you sue a judge. Probably a little longer than that.
Have you ever
Right.
seen Tyler have you ever seen USC 1983?
What's that color law?
No. I think hold on. I might be able to.
Brenda Harris say, "What you mean? You know how to swim?" Oh, he gone. Oh, he must have kicked him out. Let's see who else want to come up. Josh Willis. See if they let you in.
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on?
My brother, peace, my brothers. What's going on with you?
N- Not much, not much. Just got my son to sleep not too long ago. Trying to build with you for a few minutes. How's your day been?
So far, so smooth, man.
I heard that.
So
I
far,
heard
so
that.
smooth. Oh shit! It dropped him off. Okay, I got one more. Uh, Marty Adams. See if it let you in. I don't know what happened when my man just got dropped off. Yep, no leaders leave you with chaos. Yep, everybody trying to figure out something. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Bad guy Curry. Last one I'm taking, then I'm going to give me something to eat.
1980. That's deprivation of rights under color of law. You supposed to. That's what I'm about to do now. I'm about to sue one of the clerks in my county. I'm in the process of doing that, but man, I'd have been very successful.
So
You know what I'm saying?
here's the trick. There's only a few Article 3 judges in the country.
Okay.
The rest of the judges are administrative law judges.
Okay.
They can only enforce statute and policy. They masquerading as if they are the rightful courts on the land. They not.
Oh yeah, I know all of that, man. I think I know something that can tell all they asses, all the pieces, especially in the District of Columbia, and
Remember,
that's where
Trump just did an executive order about administrative law judges.
what do you do?
They trying to get rid of them, but it's right now
True.
it's being dealt with by the Supreme Court.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I think I can bring that whole shit down though, man. Like everybody, all that shit, Supreme Court, all the judges, every
Here go
single
the
last one.
problem.
I can
Listen.
disqualify.
We've been
I can disqualify all of them.
we've been found leadership of the country guilty of genocide in the World Court already on 5 counts of mass genocide and ethnic cleansing. That was a couple years ago. We
In the World
also
Court.
know that they're not really our government. But here go the problem. It's not enough for us conscious of what's going on to mount up a viable defense that we can win. And this is why you got so many people coming out now when they understand why we have to put it in the public domain. We got to put it in the public domain so people
Yeah,
can
you
say,
gotta say
listen to
something. You
this.
can't goddamn keep doing that goddamn go along to get along shit, man. Like, I can't. You gotta say something.
Right. You speak up. And the more people speak up, it's the same as changing the algorithm.
Yeah.
Once we get the pendulum to swing back to us following tribal traditions, then everything that they was using as a facade begin to crumble. So you got to know how they faking, how they pretending to be our government, how they got into this position to appear to be our government, and how we was deluded into even believing they was our government in order to unlock the trap.
Right.
And the more people that understand that the United States corporation is the same as Halliburton during the Gulf War. Dick Cheney was on the board of Halliburton receiving hundreds of millions of dollars in kickbacks because of the contracts he secured from Bush to rebuild Iraq and Afghanistan. And before he could go in, they had to establish an interim government. That's the same thing they did with George Washington. They established the interim government that took over in the place of the tribal government that replaced the Confederacy. The Iroquois Confederacy was the original Continental Congress. The Continental Congress was the lawgiver of the people, but was usurped by warfare. When the war was waged in 1776, then the spell was cast with the blood of Crispus Attucks in order to put us in the stupor. So they
But this
used.
is the stupid.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, like, I look at it like this, right? if in 1776, like if we is who we is, you can't change who you is. I don't give a fuck if you try to change it on paper. When you came here, you was a European. You still a European. So in 1776, if we ceded them land and shit when they got here, right? We gave them the right to be here. We ceded them right to be here.
That's
Then
not true.
when you did,
The Pope gave
I'm saying they got treated.
this.
Let me finish. Just let me finish. And then correct me,
Okay.
right? All right. If we got treaties, if we got treaties and shit with Great Britain, you know what I'm saying? Well, we ceded them land and all of this shit, right? So that what initially gave them the right to be here. So in 1776, if you declare your independence from your own country that we ceded the land to, then that means you declared your independence from the land rights that was granted to the people that you was from, and then you tried to start a new nation on top of a nation that was already here. You can't do that. So you ain't never had the proper land right to be here anyway, because if you ever had a right to be here, you declared your independence from that right once you did that. Because we didn't have no contracts with them people with the US government. We had contracts with Great Britain or France
You know,
or whoever the fuck it was.
they is invaders.
Yeah, they don't got no right to be here anyway. Like the whole shit, everything they talking about is cap. Everything they talking about is cap. Because once you declared your independence from Great Britain, that's who we had the treaties with. That's who we had all the negotiations with. That's the king, the one who created Carolina and all your little colonies and all of that shit. You declared your independence from all of them rights. When you tried to start, you became a traitor to your own country. You know what I'm saying? You started stealing. You turned your back on your own people. You know what I'm saying? You from there. That's where you came from.
Look,
You from there.
they was declaring that they was an independent rogue entity masquerading as our government that
Yeah.
would be independent of the people of the land. They told us that they was declaring independence from Britain as the cover story. Because if it wasn't a cover story, the Crown of England wouldn't still hold all of the barristers under their jurisdictional authority. Our police wouldn't be still chartered out of Rome. I mean, out of London. All of the
Who was the
police,
barrister?
the police trace back to London, England. They are a foreign occupying force of the Crown of England in order to administer policies on foreign lands that was captured under the discovery doctrine of the Pope.
So what you mean like this, the police starting this on slavery? Like that's bullshit.
Yeah, we weren't slaves and prisoners of war on our family farms.
Right. There you go.
See, we got
Who
to,
was prisoners of
if you know
war?
your culture, you can put it all together. It's right there in our face.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the big house was Big Mama house with the wraparound porch because in our culture, that's how we had daycare set up where children can play on the outside on the sunny days on the front porch where they won't crawl out in the grass, get bit by a snake, right? Get ran over by the bigger kids. To keep the babies contained, you put the picket around the porch. That's uniquely American
Uh,
in custom.
Picket fence.
That's how the big mama. Ain't
Yeah,
nobody had no daycare centers.
yeah,
The big mama
man.
well, want all her grandkids at the same time, and then she had 2, 3 of your aunties, your sisters, or cousins, all there helping her take care of all of the babies in the family, while we out doing whatever we got to do in the field or whatever. Then they slaughter the grown folks in the field, come in, and then they raise the children, and then they miseducate them.
Yep. They forgot everything. They figure they take out the elders, then they raise the goddamn kids, and they'll in a few generations of the motherfucking torture, they'll be done forgot everything. Most of them. Everybody didn't forget.
It's a lot of history that's written that tells the story. So they start history at about 1913. They kind of echo anything before that. They won't give you too many details on it, right? They don't start giving you detailed history to really around the crash, the Great Wall Street crash in 1929.
Mm.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on culturally at that time among the tribes warring with the government. Most of the tribes have no treaties with nobody from Europe. When I say most of the tribe, out of like 5,000 tribes across the Americas, only about 10 tribes did business with them, if that many. A lot of the tribes, they was appointing somebody from their bloodline as the chief of our family in order to sign treaties. They wasn't us.
Oh,
They were making people chief by presidential decree. That's not how chiefs are made, right? So they was signing treaties among themselves, but they was telling it in history as if we participated. Then they put on the uniforms to enforce the ignorance, because if they caught us teaching, they was putting us to death. We forget about that part. We wasn't allowed to be taught how to read and how to write,
yeah.
right? So if we couldn't read and write, who writing our stories for us?
In English.
In perfect English,
In English.
right? So you saying they telling
Mm.
these slave narratives and then you interpreting it. Like some of them books was how pale-faced writers interpreted how we was talking, but that ain't how we sounded to each other.
Right.
So we had to learn their language, and then we had to talk it our way for us to be able to code the language with the messages.
Yeah, it's different like how Mexicans try to speak English the same way. They speak it in their own way.
Mm-hmm. They speak Spanish in their own way. If the
Yep.
Spanish from Spain don't sound like the Spanish in Mexico, Puerto Rico, or Colombia.
It's like slang. They got like different
Yeah,
slang versions of that shit.
that's because when the invaders came and they mixed with us in different parts, we still had to make some parts of their culture ours. We use different slang words, but across cultures we can recognize each other by doing that to a foreign language. We bent the language to the customs of the tribe. That allows us to see the Afro-Mexican, your Emilio Zapata, your Zapatista. You know, we see beyond your what was his name? Cesar Chavez, the great actor. We see beyond that to Emilio Zapata, the true chief on the land, moving the people in the direction of liberation. They had the pseudo Spanish government that called themselves settling Mexico on tribal land. They still have parts of Mexico that's unconquered. And they still
Mm.
ain't conquered the hood yet, even taking us to jail like we on an assembly line for prisoners.
Two.
We still here. We ain't never stopped resisting. Our resistance just looks different because of the progression of time and the gradual way things change over time, right? Because you still gonna see the same thing you seen on your way out that you saw coming in, but it's just gonna be upside down and different. It's gonna be told in a different way, but it's gonna be the same story. You'll be able to flip the carnival mirrors to see your true form, you'll be able to see the difference in the two.
I'm on it. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. I said I'm moving. I know how to move through that system pretty well. You know what I'm saying? I done did very well, and I'm gonna continue. But I want to build with y'all though, man.
For sure, for sure. Inbox me, man.
Anyway, I
I'm
can help.
behind on my
Anyway, I can
messages
help.
right now, but inbox me, and you know, but we
Okay,
gonna be visible with the program.
okay,
So,
bro. All right, much love, man.
all right, all right. Appreciate you, young brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. You too.
So, on the 552 Milwaukee, Grand Rapids, West Side, Flip, 255 Josephine, on the Noble